my pro bono work.
All right, so is it double dipping if I'm recording a deck profile to a deck I've already uploaded last week, but all I'm doing is just changing the title to say that I got first place at something?
If other channels can do it,
right,
we can do it too.
So hey, I got first place at the, what was this thing called? The second anniversary event?
Yeah, second anniversary.
Yeah, I got this thing. It's Nami. She's from the anime.
I do love the art for it.
Yeah, she's from that box that they broke up and just to sell it to us in pieces, right? In Japan. Yeah.
All right, but what'd you play today? What happened? Who did you play in tournament? I guess.
Yeah. So I managed to get first place with purple yellow Nico Robin 5-0.
Nice.
Right, this is literally the exact same deck I uploaded last week. So if you can literally just pause this video, go watch the original and up that view count. Or you can just watch this view count because I put the word first place in the title, right, to get your interest in watching this. But yeah, there's literally no difference. I think the only difference between the deck pro I recorded last week, this was I now actually have the alt art leader to show off, right?
It does look really good.
In the deck profile. Right, so purple yellow Robin. I think she's okay. I mean, she's really good for what she does. She is a card that in One Piece will always trade off for a card. You always lose one card from her swing no matter what. Mm-hmm. Right, so that's why I played her. Also, I just like she's a pretty cool character. I don't think she's a very good leader right now in the meta. I just don't think any dual. Right, I think right now One Piece has reached a point where if you're not a monocolor leader, you're a leader. If you're a dual color leader, your effect has to be inherently broken in order to just be justified being played. Because early on in the game, dual color was only acceptable because you're like, oh hey, I really need to put good cards in this. But now we reached a point in the game where it's like you don't have to be color mixing. You can just play monocolor right now. But yeah,
that's fair.
All right, so we'll just do the deck profile first.
All right.
So it's the exact same. It's the exact same. So 3 Nico Olivia, best card. Use this to close out games, 2K counter, really good trigger. Hey, I really need those regional artworks. Hey, if anybody get those regional artworks, hey, hit me up. I want those regional artworks.
All right.
Next we have, I think this is the best yellow card in the game right now, Sure Hoshi.
Really?
Yeah. I think when you summon this card will stick pretty much 90% of the time. It's only in certain matchups where it will not stick. Like in Shanks, they will. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can't get the guy out of here, right? Like against in Shanks, if they summon Ben Beckman and Blue, if they do Law Jozu to bounce it right. Mm-hmm. But I guess black decks, right? Particularly against black deck, this card will always stick and it will survive.
It has is it on destruction?
On KO, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
on KO.
And that's the only way for it out, right? So they're not playing something like the 6 Brook or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. This card will always stick. Like every time I went second throughout the in the tournament. I never went first, so I always mulligan for this, and this card always stuck. It never got removed from field.
Nice.
Next we got for Beige. He just exists to be a 2K. He's a 2K. He has a trigger effect, and he has a good trigger effect, and then he's a discard if you open it with Robin. You don't ever want to discard him obviously because he's a 2K. Next, I think this card is extremely mid. Right, even though he reads really good, but the fact that he doesn't have a counter makes him really bad.
Okay.
Right, so he's just a blocker who you can summon if off life, right?
So I forgot what's her name, but the big mom one, yeah.
Yeah, like Brule, right? Yeah, but he only's there, right? So most of the time, he only exists to be a free pitch for Nico Robin because you don't want to be pitching any of your counter 2K, obviously, right?
Okay, yeah.
Next we got fishing off 2Ks, 4 Frankies and 4 Kikonojos. Pretty much these are the exact same. They serve the exact same purpose in the deck of just being able to generate a free body if you hit them off of life, right? Frankie being 2K is really good. Kikunojo, right, is really harder to do in this meta because right now we're in a monocolor leader format, right? So it's kind of harder to resolve Kikunojo. But when you do resolve Kikunojo, it feels pretty good.
This card is, I personally like it. I play a lot of Yamato.
Yeah.
But this card is really nuts because it just
but Kikunojo pretty much exists just to purely be also be a free pitch, right? And so most of if my hand is bad, it's as long as if I see Soul or Kikunojo, I was like, all right, cool. I have free discard outlet to ramp.
Makes sense.
Next we're playing the 4 Egghead Luffy. I don't play the Egghead Nami. I don't think this deck can afford to play Egghead Nami because this deck will always lose 2 cards because you have to pitch at least twice in this deck to ramp up. So you cannot afford to lose. You cannot be afford to pitching card, even though there's obviously there's between 4 and a 5, but this hitting a 4 is just good enough, right? Because you can hit all the Doffy summons, right? Because of that. Next we have the best card in the deck. right? 4 Devil Nico Robin. On summon, if your opponent has 3 more life, you trash one. So this is pretty much always your 3 on turn, your third turn summon. This will always generate gear sort of another card.
Okay.
For the 7 purple Sanji, I only ever summon this guy towards the late game. I don't summon this anything at any point during the early or mid game. Always at the end after I've already established my board, and I just use this to close off game. Him having a rush, being able to rush, is really good because you're able to close off game because of it, right? If they're not respecting cards. Then finally for our big, it is 4 Yamatos, 4 Big Moms, and 4 Big Moms and 2 Ace. So we're playing these because these will always get rid of a body and they give you a life. Ace does the exact same thing. I don't play the 9-10 purple Luffy, right? Because even though the purple Luffy does get you a draw, right? He doesn't theoretically get you a life, which is like because the problem is Nico Robin goes through cards real fast. She's a straight up glass cannon for the entire early part of the game where you're just like, I'm just gonna swing everything, right? So that's why, because of that. So I'd rather just play the Ace where I do get a life, where I'm able to get a life and then close out games because of that.
Makes sense.
And if I play the best purple card for a Straw Hat, this card is dumb. This card invalidates the purple event, right? This card would, if this card only had a trigger, this card would be very, very, very good right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, best part about this, right? Since Nico Robin is a Straw Hat, you always fake having keep a Dawn during the end of the turn, like just to mind game your opponent, right? That you have it.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the deck profile. So my matchups that day was Zoro, BY, Black Yellow, Luffy. I played the mirror match in round 3. There was another person that was undefeated with Nico. It was really good. That mirror match terrible. I hate that mirror match so much.
Good to know.
And then Eno, funny thing in that matchup, he summoned out the 7/7 rush. And I was like, man, I cannot out that card. And I realized, hold on. You could just summon the Luffy and to turn off the Eno's Reborn effect. I summoned that thing against my opponent, right? He had to summon it. I was like, man, I was thinking in my head, like how do I out this thing? Right? Like, so I just like, wait, hold on. So I just paid 5, summon this, and he was like, huh. Yeah, then I just swung over the Eno. He was like, "Yeah, I can't bring him back." So that's the funny thing about that. And then finally, the last matchup was against Shanks. So I managed to avoid my worst matchup, which is Purple Luffy, and Blue Doffy. Blue Doffy depends on how many times they resolve Jinbei. You only win against Blue Doffy if they resolve double Jinbei, right? Against Purple Luffy, you just auto it. You cannot beat that. This deck cannot. I think the deck's win rate has like a 10% win ratio against Purple Luffy. But yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, but I pretty much play against a bunch of matches that I already had a good idea going into. But yeah, like I said, I lost all my dice roll that day, and in all my matchups, my opponent made me go first. So I was like, all right, perfect. That's all I need. As long as you go first, right? You're able to get this to turn. You get this on turn 3, and you by that point you should have already. At that point you most likely have denied your opponent at least 3 cards by that point, right? Either they're countering out from at least 2 swings of this, right? And then from the bench, and then this just guarantees another card being lost from their card resources. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
No other changes you'd make to the deck?
I mean, this deck has been going out through. Like, I feel really content right now with this deck. I mean, there's like other changes I want to do. Like, I've been thinking about putting in the the yellow Bonnie, the egghead Bonnie, just to try to get more card advantage and draw. But like, as right now, I think I play this deck aggressive enough, right? There's like not much I can say. In fact, this deck is also very tight in what it does, right? So that's the hard part. Is trying to figure out what card you can you would want to take out in this list. Yeah, but I think right now this build, right? Because I think I said in my original deck profile, I've gone through like 3 or 4 builds. This is like version 4 or whatever now. This deck, right? It's like, right? But I think right now I'm pretty content with how this list is being played out, right? But yeah, that's the deck. Nico Robin, playable somehow. In amazement.
All right, better than nothing. So again, thank you for the deck profile. Really appreciate it. I know people are gonna be upset.
Like, nothing is stopping me from re-uploading twice. Right?
Again, people are gonna watch, so you know.
And they'll watch it now that I put first place in the title.
All right, but thanks for the deck profile. Okay, bye.
All right, okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.